but be careful, because Sanchez's attitude could have a very important direct consequence in relation to our southern neighbor, because there are several relevant voices in the United States, some linked to American lobbyists, who are demanding that Morocco takes Ceuta and Melilla with American support. So Africa Muscas, be careful, because we are seeing how in the United States they are publicly calling for a kind of new green march, which is an operation that is also being placed in the Moroccan. For those who do not know, Morocco and Israel have a military and political alliance, to the point that there have been Moroccans in the Gaza Strip helping the Israeli army. In other words, all those Spanish parties that oppose Morocco, saying that they are an existential enemy and at the same time support the Israeli government, have a pretty serious bipolar problem, right? But meanwhile, Sanchez, this is another key here, is trying to help Naturgy, the Spanish energy company, to negotiate with Algeria, which is a historical enemy of the Alawite regime, to negotiate to guarantee the supply of gas to Spain that by chance only arrives through Medgaz in Almeria from Algerian deposits, right? So this old dream of Moroccan interest of annexing Ceuta and Melilla could be the piece that will cost the alliance between Netanyahu and Mohammed VI, taking advantage of the fact that the United States wants Morocco to replace Spain as guarantor of the gateway to the Mediterranean, and also as a geopolitical policeman in North Africa to control the access to the sea of the Sahel countries, right? Like a kind of police, which is a role that had been fundamentally reserved for Spain during the transition, and that now seems to be of no interest, right? And that is why, well, it explains the cession of Western Sahara, explains the control over those waters, in which a future military base in Dahlala will be located, and in whose waters, as I say, Israeli and British companies also sail to extract their precious natural resources. I believe that of all the factors that could affect Spain the most, the key is there. We could also talk about the fight with France to see if there are energy interconnections or not, to be able to take advantage of the moments in which Spain has excess capacity to generate renewable energy. Correct? This is important, but be careful, because from a political point of view, the key is in the south, and almost no one talks about any of this, and that is the real war. The Spanish war is against Morocco. It is not against Iran, nor against the United States, nor against France, nor against Ursula von der Leyen. The Spanish war is against Morocco, and there's a war underway. So the United States is not going to give up its military bases in our country, nor have us under the boot of the AOT. In other words, anyone who thinks this means they really do not know what the story is about, but they can use them against us. Whoever occupies the Moncloa Palace, because let's not forget that when Feijóo was about to become president after the last elections, and they asked him, listen, what is the first thing you're going to do in terms of international politics if you manage to become president of the government? No, he said he was paying his respects to the King of Morocco. So in whose hands are we? No, be careful, because when we realize it, it may be too late to be able to ration. And I really don't know if Spain would have the capacity to react, because in order to have the capacity, you first have to have the will, and the will appears, which of course it does not. Well, good, perfect. In addition, we must bear in mind that, in the situation we are in now with a massive energy crisis, there is obvious market manipulation. And this is another issue, right? That is somewhat related to Black Monday. We have been discussing throughout the day this morning how Black Monday is anticipated. We will see how Wall Street opens. But we also have clear attempts at market manipulation, right? And if we look at what the